Welcome back to JOJ. It is October 16th, and in real life, I should be really tan now because we've been at the beach.
Oh, yeah.
It should be much nicer.
Yeah.
We are continuing. Our word of the month is failure, and today we're going to talk about the fear of failure. So we've got a couple stories about fear of failure, and our Bible verse for this week is 2 Timothy 1:7. Let's see. It says, For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline.
Yep.
So today, we're going to talk about the fear of failure. But the fear of failure can be such, I'm going to call it a stronghold, because, I mean, I think we can all agree we're all scared of something or scared of doing something, and I'm easy to admit that if I'm like, that's scary, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or, if it's
out of your comfort zone.
Out of my comfort zone, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And just a couple weeks ago, when we were in Texas for the speaking event, that was the first one Jennie actually she got to have a part in, and I say she got to have a part in it. She would say she was drug into it. Either way, I was really, really happy about that. And it
was a small, like they kind of asked me, they were like, do you want to speak to the wives and, kind of give them your perspective. And it's easy to do this setting, but like to be in front of a group of women, like I would look like this. And so I was like, if you ask me question and answer, I mean, it was even just a small little group, but still just being like on the spotlight, that has never been my thing. I mean, so bad, even when we got married, like I wanted to get off of the altar as quick as we possibly could. Like I was broke out in hives. I do not like being the center of attention at all.
No, and it was, but it was great, and she did excellent.
He was over there filming it, taking pictures.
I was taking pictures of her. So, and what was funny, so I showed her afterwards, then we'll get back on this. So, I took a couple pictures from the side, then I got up to where, I'm straight up in front of them. Now, I'm, between you and the pastor's wife, I'm a little ways away from you all, but you said you never even saw me. Mm-mm. Because you weren't looking that direction at all. She wasn't looking towards the people at all. She only looked to the pastor's wife and just answered her.
I looked a little bit, but I wasn't looking beyond.
Yeah, but no, it is the fear of failure. I think, like you said, you called it a stronghold, and that's a great way to put it. It actually can be, the fear of the failure can actually be more gripping for some people than the failure itself. I think that people they can get themselves so worked up, so concerned, so worried. So what's going to happen if I do this wrong? What's going to happen if I mess up in this situation? That it does keep them from getting to experience, honestly, life the way God has it planned for them, to get to experience the abundant life that He has. Because they are so gripped by the fear of failure, and I think that it can be so consuming, and we have a pretty good example of that in our household.
We do.
Yeah.
We apologize in advance to this one child. Maybe we just won't mention a name.
Okay.
Because only those that personally know us know which one it is.
Okay. Well, I think they'll figure it out pretty quick. But anyway, so where shall we start with Exhibit A?
Well, when said child was 3, 4, started Mother's Day out, said child through major.
Well, she went a couple weeks.
Yes. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, right? Or maybe even a month or so, and then it started trending downhill.
That, which all kids kind of go through, the clingy, like they don't want mom to leave, hang on you cry, do all those things. Well, I'm pretty like, okay, you're like, I know you're going to be fine, I'll leave you. But like, got to the point where the meltdown was so bad that child was crying, I was crying, and I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I can, like, clearly this is not the place that this child needs to be. So don't go for a few weeks and drive by said location, and child's in the back. that's my school. That's my school. So happily, like, waving. And I'm like, I think my head spun around 3 times because I'm like, really? Like, you're excited about that place? Because the last time we were there, it was ugly. So from that moment on, I'm like, all right, you're going to school. And so, which was like Mother's Day out. So, I mean, I would take Child, go sit in the parking lot because Child screamed, cried, did all the things, and then finally accepted that Child was going to be there. I'm doing so good.
You are doing good, a lot better than me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was step 1. We should have known.
Yeah. And so at that point, I mean, the teacher would text Jennie and say, hey, Child is good. All is well.
You can go home.
No more tears. Probably made Jennie more mad at that point because of what she had just dealt with. What did it last? A month maybe? Not even?
Yeah.
And then it was good. Fast forward a few years later, said Child is doing gymnastics. and again, it goes pretty good for the start.
Not forced gymnastics.
Of their own accord.
Yes.
Yeah, of their own accord. I want to do this. Okay, let's try it, whatever. First month.
Goes good.
All's good. You get there, goes right in. Everything's fine. Then for whatever reason, something begins to happen. And the fear of...
I don't even know that I'd call it failure, just the fear of being... I don't know.
It had to be... There was something that Child was going to fail at that would get them so worked up, whether it was being late to class, not being the first one there, or what someone else would think. I don't know. But it would send Child into a major tailspin.
Holding hands out, feet locked, like getting out of the car.
Like the cartoon of being at the door, like this, where you push them from the back to try to get their arms to fold around them to get them in the door.
Great memories.
Yeah, and up to present day, which if we say exactly what it is present day, then we will give that away.
But yes, but still kind of has a fear of failing or fear of messing up, and looked at said Child and was like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, okay, say all of this happens, like,
what's it going to do?
People are going to forget about it tomorrow. So, but it's just kind of a natural thing in said Child to where other Child, I don't know, that has a lick of fear. Like, doesn't matter what's going to happen. So just sometimes it's born into us.
No, it definitely is. I mean, that fear can be there.
And like a constant battle of, mind over matter. And, and if even, as parents trying to raise the kids, I can't really remember a huge thing, like a fear of, like, I'm trying to think of, like if there was something in my childhood or, I mean, as we get older, like, I fear I'm going to mess our kids up, but... that's on them. We've done the best we can. I mean, we've tried to be a good influence. Not feared at all, apparently. We're failures anyway. We've done the best we can with what we've got. I mean, good luck. Sorry, kids. Sorry. I'll do my best to not fail you. This one's like, you're on your own. But, I mean, I just don't remember anything being so crippling. I mean, obviously... in present time, like my fear of saying or not speaking the correct thing obviously gets me. Like this was a huge step. Doing the question and answer a couple weeks ago was a major step. But I know that, like, it's kind of one of those things we've always said, like, if people ask or, like you feel God calling you to do it, you should do it. But I'm pretty firm in my... Your feet are planted? Yes. I'm going to have to push you through the door? Maybe so. I think that's where said Child gets it from. Maybe so. But and yours is as far as that goes, as far as speaking in front of people and that kind of stuff. But I mean, as a kid, I can remember something, and it wasn't a fear of failure, just something I didn't... It's funny because our kids have all... they go to sleepovers. You win sleepovers like that. My fear of
staying.
Said child had to be picked up several times from sleepovers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You had to go get her.
Yeah, that was me too as a child.
Because that's why. Because I'm like, I'm not picking you up. Like, if you want to go and spend the night, you're spending the night.
Yeah.
But
I was sympathetic with that because that was me as a child. I don't know what I would have failed by by sleeping somewhere, but
you were just scared.
I was just very comfortable in my own home. I wasn't scared. I liked my own home.
Okay. Anyways, now that we have thrown our said child under the bus. But yeah, so I think as, Christians, not letting the fear of failure or the fear of failing or messing up not hold us back is so important, especially in this day and age, where, you're kind of told to not be outspoken, or, if you don't agree with everything somebody does or says, you're not supposed to, world says you shouldn't. But, God gives us a heart to, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, exactly what you're trying to say, exactly what the verse says. I mean, that God, the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid.
Yeah.
He gives us power, He gives us love, and He gives us self-discipline. And that's exactly, as Christians, what we're supposed to do. And we're supposed to be bold about our love of Christ. We know that He gives us the power to do that, but He gives us love and self-discipline to apply that in a way to people that we come in contact with, to where we show them the love of Christ is what we're supposed to do in that, but we're supposed to do it in a self-disciplined kind of way. I've heard Chris Wells and Mark Whitten, a lot of Christian men that I look up to, that they don't stand on the corners thumping a Bible and yelling at people and telling them, to repent or go to hell. That's not the way to draw others into Christ. But at the same time, we're not to be timid either. If somebody asks us a question, or if we're in a situation, we're supposed to be bold about it, but to do it with love and self-discipline for sure. So, I hope that made sense, and said child does still love us. Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for watching, and we will catch up with you next week right here on JOJ.